Hey guys, it's Ash from the Disciples with Royd, Aaron Boothroyd,
That's good.
for his
Fifth place, bro. Fifth place, yeah. The finalist knocked me out.
Edison deck profile. What'd you play again?
Frog Hero with some spice.
Yeah, it's it was a surprising deck for me because I was like, these frog cards they'll get defeated by a fossil diner, and then ignore some Strauss, and I was shitting bricks. But like. Yeah, it was chill. Anything you want to say before we get into it, or?
No, not really. Shout outs to Ragnar, I guess. For the spice, we did some testing and it came up.
Respectful.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, alright, so frogs. Not much to say about the swap one. It's really good. You can't balance Ab-Zero. That's all I learned today. Because it has to go to a hand for cost. So you can't.
Oh, really? Fair
Yeah.
play.
So, three-toed. It's really
more frog in it.
Yeah, it's more ways to frog. You just want to make the decks consistent as possible, as many starters as possible. Good with soul exchange as well. 2 Treeborn, it's not 2, so pick 2.
Is it actually?
It's a 2, yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's mad.
2 deep, I don't think I'd ever play more because it just misses timing and everything, you know. And you can, I don't know, it's just good for the rock.
Right,
yeah, but if they out it, they out it. And I don't like going through resources trying to set it up. For the Monarchs, 3 Kaya's favourite card, best card in the deck. Didn't actually burn anyone for game this weekend, which is a rarity, but you know, we try. 3 Riser, I thought about cutting down to part 2 to make, because it's just something, the hands you break are all Monarch hands, but your best hands are also hands where you have 2 Monarchs. 3 is too many, obviously, but 2 you don't have to follow up is nice. You don't have to bounce it or swap, and you can keep applying pressure. These are the best ones. I tried playing Zaborg and some Chaos Sorcerer and doing some weird stuff, but it was just a bit too inconsistent. That's it for the Frog Monarch stuff. The hero stuff, just one of each of the good ones. Well, this isn't even really a good one, but it's a water monster, so it comes up with Swap Frog. You can add it and discard and special, and that comes up a lot, especially with setting up for Miracle Fusion, trying to play around Crow and whatnot.
So, what's the benefit of the hero cards? Is it literally just for mad days? Is it just for Miracle Fusion?
Pretty much, yeah. Like, Ab-Zero is like one of the best boss monsters in the format. It's like really sticky, hard to deal with, and this deck makes it a lot better than most like Diva Hero decks. The Diva Hero one is like sometimes it's 3k, most of them are 2.5. In Ab-Zero, in this deck you can get up to like 3.5 to 4k.
That's true actually. Yeah, they think about that. Yeah.
And it's just like the problem with the regular Frog Monarch is it's really linear, right? Just one thing per turn.
Yeah.
So it's just
this gives you a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, a little more gas.
How's the alias? Is it just because it's 19?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like an extra guy. It's like a lot of the meta is 18, so
For me, I'm just like looking at it, it's just like so many normal summons in it.
Yeah,
there's so many normals.
Yeah, and then 2 Mally. Usually searches with the Stratos if you have, because there's some discard traps that you play just for that. And it's like an extra tribute monster.
Yeah.
Obviously drawing it isn't ideal, but hey.
Yeah.
Gauze, pretty self-explanatory. I don't play Trag in this deck. Most Frog Monarch decks play Trag because there's a lot of discard traps and such, and both the hero cards, like you expend resources a lot quicker, so the Trag was always kind of tiny. Didn't go well.
Makes sense.
Tried playing 1 Plague Spreader. I suppose I should put this with a Foolish. The idea was like more extra deck options. And if I kept searching Mally with Stratos, because if I had discard trap now, I'd draw the other Mally because I wanted to hold it. And it was not the one, so I was like, right, how can I circumvent this? And that's where I was talking to Leon about this. Also, Plague Spreader came up. Plague Spreader was actually okay. The Foolish Burial though, it was kind of mid. I don't know. It underperformed really.
Yeah, I was thinking. Because in our game you like Rota, and like, if he gets Grepher here, like I feel like I'm losing, and then you didn't, and I was like, calm.
Yeah. I think the Foolish was going a bit too all in on the idea of it, like the package. So I probably wouldn't play.
I thought you just wanted the extra deck utility, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which comes into the next card, best card, MVP of the weekend, Junk Synchron. This is shout out to Rana. We were testing all on DB, and every time we get into like a really fucked game state, he would smack me up with this card, and you're already playing Rota for the heroes, right? So it's searchable, and after turn 2, once you've established your Frog engine, it basically just does everything Deep Sea Diva does, but you don't have to play a break with it. And it's better with Treeborn Frog on its own as well, because you make Armory Arm. And the extra options you get with this card, I don't know, it's really good. I overperformed a lot. Watch my feature against Connor. That's it for the monsters. It's pretty high monster count, but it's pretty monster heavy decks. But you cycle through a lot. The deck does a lot of deck thinning, so it's not too bad. Through the 3 Wonder Fusion. obviously for the hero engine, you have like really high water count, so it's pretty much always live if you see it. It's just weirdly enough, it's the hero cards that are hard to get to.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to play any more because you're already kind of playing bad ones.
Yeah.
And then to go with the one rotor, play the one equal. I wouldn't play more because you don't have enough targets, but once you see one, you kind of see them all.
You see them all, yeah.
Power cards, or back removal, heavy, and typhoon. I wouldn't not main them. They get sided out in a fair few matchups, but you can't not play them. 1-for-1, shout outs to Leon. I was not convinced on this card for the longest time.
It makes better sense in my head.
You have so many starter cards already, but the hands you brick are all monster hands. So they're definitely it helps unblock that. And if you open it, especially if you're opening it with Mally as well, you can make deep block really easily. Turn 1. Brain control because it's brain control. I don't play Cold Wave or True Nade because I feel like the one True Nade conflicts because you want cards on the field to Monarch. And Cold Wave, like a lot of your big pushes you make power plays, you need your spell cards yourself. So I don't play either of those. I do play one Econ. Mainly this is to stop getting Colossal Armory arms, so you change the defense mode. But it's also really good with Treeborn, obviously, to stand my phase, and with the extra tuners in the deck, it's more live. I wouldn't play more than one though. I used to play Creature Swap, but I stopped playing Creature Swap because there's so many chainable back row, and if you chain a back row, you're losing the game. That's the first spell. Traps. 2 and 2. I considered playing 3 and 1 for a while, but I would just find in I don't know. I like the versatility, and it kind of bugged my OCD to be honest. Mainly, but this helps for siding patterns actually. I know like I can put 2 in, 2 out a lot easier. In the last trap, I was siding it before, but I bumped into the main deck for Mirror Force. When I was testing the weird Chaos version of the deck, I just kept getting blown out, and I wanted some extra kind of defense. And the worst part about this deck now is that it's popular. Everyone knows the back row trainable, they play around it, so I'm like, it's a bit better to play a back row that's not trainable now. They don't expect it, especially game 1.
That makes sense.
That's it for the 40 card main deck.
Nice.
I was trying to play upstarts, but it's just the life points actually kept coming up, man. I don't know.
Nah, I get you.
The extra deck, which actually matters now, because you can do more than one thing a turn. Which is why I chose to play this deck, because it's just fun. 3 F-Zero is the best one. There's not much to say about it. It's really big in this deck as well. 1 Gaia, I'd consider cutting it, to be honest. I don't know. It never comes. You can't even make it in the main deck really, unless you do some big extra deck stuff first, like with the Goya Guardian. But you should I can't. There's very few scenarios where you wouldn't just rather summon F-Zero.
Exactly.
But the extra deck space isn't too tight, so it's not like I'm dying to cut it. Chimera Tech for side deck, side with the dragons. Mistworm, if you make it, just like you need more than 1 dude, right? So you can't make it with a Monarch and Junk, but if you have enough frogs, you can get there. Or heroes like Junk plus if you have a hero on board already, you could Junk plus some frog to make this. So it comes up a lot. Colossal and Stardust for the 8s. I think they were the best 2 8s to play. I was playing Thought Ruler for a while, but I cut it to make room for another 7. You actually have Warriors as well, so this is big, and it's like these like safe options are not to die. Because often the times if I'm making an 8, I have to commit a lot of resources, so I don't want to make something and get blown out.
Yeah, I hear you.
Onto the 7s. So you're playing Junk Warrior, right? Sorry, Junk Synchron, so Junk Archer. It actually comes up a lot, so sometimes going for game. I didn't summon it this weekend, but in testing it's definitely earned its spot. What it does is it's like a Farfa, right? You target something and banish it to their face. And then Black Rose. Like Junk, like it's really easy to make 7s if you have a hero on board, and if not, it's 2 frogs. 6s come up the most, obviously they're the best ones. Rio and Goyo. And no surprise there. Just if you have Treeborn and Grave, which you already do, just Junk on its own is one of these guys. For the 5s, Catasta and Junk Warrior. Junk Warrior is actually really funny in this deck, because if you have a Swap Frog on board already, he's 33 at least. So it's just big. It's angry. It couldn't find room for Android, but they don't really I'm not ever summoning Junk turn 1 anyway, because this is the only engine. And then Armory it doesn't come up too much, but it comes up on rare occasions where I want to play around Gauze and then equip this main phase 2, so it's bigger than the token.
Yeah.
Side deck. It's pretty generic, to be honest. 2 Cyber Dragons. I think I decided them when you were going second round, but there was no machines, so they didn't do too many bits. But I was hoping to see them against the spaceships, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
2 Fossil Diner. So I feel like the deck struggles with clearing wide boards a lot, but if you don't have the Ab-Zero, and conversely, it also struggles with having Ab-Zero itself like efficiently. So you can just set this and it trades really well with Ab-Zero, and it makes the guy alive. 2 Crow and a Soul Release. This was mainly for the room. I knew there was 2 Ice One in the room, and it's a bit of a blowout against that one. And I think it's also, I don't side it in versus value. I think it's bad versus value because if they have both the guys in there, they're probably going to use it already.
They're already really using it.
But it's decent against zombies because they only have 1 real push anyway, and they like to conserve the resources. But I don't know if I played it in a bigger event. It was mainly for the room. Unifrog, I like it going in second as like 2 double back removal. I don't like it in the main decks. I feel like a lot of the time you've got the MSC and the Storm anyway. It's just like extra monsters there, and the deck's already so monster heavy. Burial, this comes in every game 2 and 3. Not even if I think it's going to be good against the deck, but I know they're putting Crows in against me or Soul Racing against me, Bottomless, whatever. It's just, I don't know, and it's quick play, you know. They crow the Treeborn, it's right back in there. It's like you never lost anything. Soul Exchange, I played this for Glads and Zombies to just help deal with the Recruiters or Turn Off Chariot going second. I don't like main decking it because it's just a pool and going first, and it needs like another card to work with in conjunction with itself. Then I played 2 Dust Tornado for more back row haters, like, or if I was expecting to see like any Floodgates against me. 2 Mirror. Glad Beasts are the worst matchup. I knew Marcus always knocks me out in the last round, usually playing Glad Beasts, so this was mainly for him. But it's okay against Diva and Zombie, but I never actually saw it today, so who knows. And the last card is 1 Bottomless, just so when you go in first against like Glad Beast or Lightsworn stuff, you can just take out one of the shit cards that go second. It made sliding patterns easier having the 50th card.
Yeah, that makes sense. Calm.
Yeah, that's it.
Anything else to say before I stop?
Well, shout outs to the team, all the sponsors, Metamats, Car Market, Brotherhood. Shout out to Barney for having us over, man. Every time we come here, it's like a mental reset for the week. It's really good. Shout outs to Ryan for the Junk Synchron Tech. I hope, watch the content. I hope you guys enjoy.
Calm.